Today we're talking about back fat, and I'm going to show you some of my favorite exercises to target trouble areas like under your arms and your lower back. But before we get started, there are two important things I wanted you to know. First, training alone isn't going to be enough. You're going to have to address your nutrition as well. Let's say, for example, you started training your lats really hard to try to target underarm fat, and you did things like a lot of lat pull downs and pullovers. What can happen if you don't also lose weight is you can make those areas bigger because you end up building muscle underneath fat, and that's not what we want. So you are also going to have to try to lose some weight if you want to reduce back fat. The second thing that you need to know is that a lot of times women mistake aging skin for back fat, and this is really common once we hit our 40s. I'm experiencing this as well. We get some aging skin on our torso, and it can even make it look like we have some rolls, especially in that mid to lower back area. And unfortunately, training's not going to be able to reduce this, but training can build some muscles and some shape, which can make your back look better overall and give some structure to the skin. So with that out of the way, let's get into my favorite exercises to help you target those trouble areas. We're going to start with one of my favorite exercises at the moment, the ego pull down. So ego pull downs are essentially a chest supported lat pull down, and they're going to target that underarm brabulge area. But your upper back muscles and rear delts are also going to be working, so this exercise is going to help you build a really beautiful looking back. If you've watched any of my other videos, you may have heard me talk about bracing when weightlifting. Bracing means using a stable position, like laying on a bench rather than standing, so you can focus more on proper form and muscle activation. It helps you lift more effectively and safely. And that's what we're doing with the ego pull downs. We are bracing by laying on the bench. Now, it's not necessary to use training straps, but if you do, you're going to get a much better muscle connection. So I always use my training straps on pretty much any back exercise. And then when you set up your ego pull downs, you want to make sure that you have your bench far enough away from the cables so that you can get a big stretch when your arms are out straight. And then you pull down just like you would a regular lat pull down and get a hard squeeze at the bottom of the pull down, and then a nice full stretch as you come back up. And it helps to make sure that as you're coming back up, you're moving really slow. So a good tempo would be count 1 as you pull down, squeeze, and then release it back up for about 4 count. And the other cool thing about using cables rather than like a bar, like you would if you did a traditional lat pull down, is you can work each arm individually. And that's really good because we often have imbalances. And cables with handles tends to be more elbow friendly than locking your arms into place with a bar like you would when you're doing a lat pull down on a machine, for example. So if you have any injuries, this is a really nice version of the lat pull down because you can play around with the angles and everything and see what feels best for you and work around your injury better. So moving on to the next exercise, I wanted to show you the dumbbell pullover. This is a great one to build a beautiful looking back, and it's going to target that underarm area really well. And as a bonus, it's going to work your triceps and your core a bit too. Now, I love the pullover because it's elbow friendly. It doesn't tend to bother you as much as doing stuff like pull downs. And there's just something fun about pullovers. It's one of the most popular exercises when I work with my ladies in person. Everybody enjoys doing it. To do the pullover, you need to lay on a bench and then start with the dumbbell over your face and slowly lower it behind you, keeping your elbows soft but not bent too much, or you'll end up targeting your triceps more. And then it's really important when you reverse back up that you move slowly to recruit all those muscles in that armpit area. If you rush or use momentum, which is really common, people often use momentum on this exercise, then you're not going to engage your lats and work them hard and get the results that you want. So you have to move slowly. And then another common mistake is coming back too far over your face. And what happens when you do that is you break tension, so you lose the benefit of the exercise. So what you want to do is only come back up about as far as your forehead, and then don't rest there. Immediately start moving back into the next rep. Now, most ladies can use fairly heavy weights with this exercise. So once you feel like you have the technique right, don't be afraid to go heavier. If you get stuck, worst case scenario is you can just release the weight carefully behind you to the floor. The third exercise I wanted to show you is the dumbbell row. When it comes to building muscle in your mid to lower back, that area where you get some aging skin, possibly some fat rolls, this is a great exercise to target that area. Now, I think that exercises like deadlifts and good mornings are hard to beat when it comes to targeting lower back fat, but in reality, many women shouldn't be doing these exercises because of back problems or because they haven't been coached in the proper form and technique, and they actually can be unsafe. So today I wanted to show you a safer option to target those areas, and that's the dumbbell row. The safest way to do a dumbbell row is to lay fully on a bench. When you do this variation, you need to focus on driving your elbows back and down and really getting a good squeeze in that mid to lower back region. And then don't just let the weights fall back to the floor. You want to control them. A good tempo would be to count 1 up, squeeze for 1 or 2, and then release them for about 4, trying to really keep those mid to lower back muscles working. And the other thing that I wanted to say about rows is that most ladies can lift quite a bit of weight. So you want to use training straps to help with your grip, because what that's going to do is it's going to help shift the exercise into the muscles you want to feel, rather than you just feeling it in your forearms or your wrists. So training straps are really important, in my opinion, when you're trying to lift heavy. Now, I know a lot of women don't have access to heavy dumbbells in their home gym, but they often have access to one heavy dumbbell. So what I wanted to do is also show you the one arm version today. Single arm rows are also great because as a bonus, they engage your core, especially the obliques and the deep stabilizer muscles. So that's another reason that I like to include them in my programs. And the same technique applies. Make sure that you're really engaging that mid to lower back region and trying to feel it as you lower the weight as well. The final thought I wanted to leave you with is that when it comes to training back, most women can lift very heavy. And in my experience working with women for so long in person, they underestimate how much they can lift. Now, of course, it's really important that you stay safe and work yourself up, but definitely make sure you're challenging yourself when it comes to training your back, because that's what's really going to make the difference to you getting results. You have to be able to engage your muscles, but you also have to be able to really challenge yourself. So I just wanted to point that out. And if you are somebody who trains at home, it is worth investing in some heavier weights. Now, if you want some help with all of this, be sure to check out my programs over on femalefitnesssystems.com. The back is usually the first area that shapes up for my ladies and starts to show muscles when you do my programs. So you definitely can build a beautiful back if you commit to training and nutrition. Remember, please give this video a like and leave a comment below, because that helps my channel and I appreciate it so much. Don't forget to subscribe so you catch future videos from me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.